So a new season of Death Battle has started. Another year. So Kratos versus Asura.
Ooh.
God of War versus Asura's Wrath. And yeah, so new bet this year. We don't need to talk about who won or lost last year.
Oh, but we could. I mean, if it's the first time you're catching it, you might not know who won and who didn't win.
That's true. Bethany won last year.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so you should check out our video. It's I don't have a hell of a boss episode, but cosplay outfit. We decided, or she decided that we should wear.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and check this out. We played God of War. We played Asura's Wrath as well. So you can check those out on our gaming channel. Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Bucky has a snowman and a beer sign.
Ooh.
Foxy got belly rubs. I think we're all ready.
Okay.
Kratos versus Asura.
Ghost of Sparta versus the Wrathful Destructor. Because sometimes you just want to punch a god in the face. Where's my boomstick?
Sometimes you got to kill a
It's our job
pantheon.
to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. In the beginning, the Primordials waged war across existence, a series of cosmic clashes that birthed the universe.
Boom! Now that's what I call a big bang.
Starting really at the beginning.
From Zeto's death, the oceans would flow. From Uranus's strikes, the stars were spawned, and so forth. Thus, the world itself was born from violence.
Starting the whole messy cycle, Uranus was overthrown by his Titan son, Kronos, who was overthrown by his
Crushing her.
Olympian son, Zeus, who battled his own son, Kratos.
As a classic bastard child of Zeus,
Oh my God, he's almost 8
Kratos
feet.
was left among Spartan mortals, far exceeding all among him. He became a fierce warrior, winning many a battle, until finally cornered by
Just like
ruthless
selfish gods.
barbarians.
And sliding puzzles.
Who are these guys who are kicking my ass, and my life is yours? A deal was made, and Kratos was joined at the bone with the Blades of Chaos, a set of chain swords, and basically a badass whirlwind of flame and steel.
But Ares had a scheme. While doing work for his god, Kratos accidentally murdered his own family, permanently marked by the ashes of his wife and daughter. He was, forevermore, the ghost of Sparta.
So he was kinda understandably really pissed off. Time for a new god of war. The gods were crapping their togas in fear as the new god of war took out his rage on all of them. And got some new gear out of it too.
With Poseidon's trident and Icarus's wings, Kratos dominated both sea and sky. He also has a tendency to carry powerful severed heads.
And the claws of Hades could steal souls. Even the soul of Hades himself. Should have thought that one through, man.
Neither Perseus or Hercules were a match for Kratos, nor was Helios, the sun god capable of moving stars and spreading light across the entire underworld.
He fought Atlas, the Titan of Strength, who broke the load-bearing pillar of the universe. So Kratos forced him to hold up the cosmos on his own instead.
And he could do it with just one hand, according to the novelization.
Even his grandpappy Kronos failed to stop him. You know, the guy who overthrew the primordial that punched the universe into existence?
Causing shockwaves that moved over a quadrillion times faster than light. A frankly incomprehensible feat.
Then there's Daddy Zeus.
Who proved a serious challenge, until Kratos drew perhaps his ultimate weapon, the Blade of Olympus.
It can make tornadoes, lightning, force fields. Oh, and it can stab the hell
Stabby
out of
stab.
you. It siphons godly energy and can pull enough to even kill Zeus. Like father, like son.
Even while Kratos ultimately released hope across the Greek world, he could only do so after annihilating everything.
Like a
Yes.
badass, he was unstoppable. Non-stop killing and sex and even more killing. And yet,
just phase one
he couldn't
Kratos.
be any more depressed.
His wife and daughter were still gone. What was he to do?
He didn't know. He wandered
Boy.
aimlessly for years, somehow stumbling into Norse mythology where he met Faye, his second wife. Good start, buddy.
Kratos had a new lease on life, but he could not escape his past mistakes.
There's a reason he hid his swords in a dingy basement. Even so, Faye insisted he could do better. So he became a dad to a new boy.
Easily the toughest task he ever undertook, especially after Faye unfortunately died of a mysterious this illness.
Damn it, not again! But hey, it wasn't Kratos' fault this time, and Faye left the tools he'd need to keep the boy safe, including the Leviathan Axe.
Far from the whirling rage of the Blades of Chaos, the Leviathan Axe was deliberate and mighty, said to rival Mjolnir itself.
Thor wishes Mjolnir was as cool as this axe. It's imbued with ice magic and a poison even the gods fear. It can be summoned to Kratos' hand from a distance, and it even shatters souls.
Kratos may have once been a sword of vengeance, but with his new weapons and a new purpose, he stood as a shield against the godly Asir.
Too bad he just can't help but get in trouble with gods. But now he knew how to control his anger.
Which is even more important than it sounds. Kratos' Spartan rage summons an inner strength with magical properties.
He can even get so pissed off that he straight up heals himself. That seems like the opposite of what should happen.
All anger is problematic, and Kratos wields plenty of new weapons and relics to channel his rage through.
Like the Draupnir ring, which can summon a bunch of wind spears. They can absorb all types of energy and blast it back. He even has relics and magic that can warp space and slow down time.
Naturally, he contested with the strongest of the Norse gods, including the god of thunder Thor, who was powerful enough to fight the fire giant Surtur and the world serpent Jormungandr at the same time.
Oh, and that fire giant would be the cause of actual Ragnarok. You can't defeat me, Thor. I know, but he can.
Well, not exactly. Freyr, the rain god, held off Ragnarok for a considerable time on his own, and the sheer power of Ragnarok shook Yggdrasil down to its very roots.
That's the world tree, which is like a literal tree that connects the whole universe.
According to Freya, the tree's very existence supports all of creation among its boughs. Every strand transcending time, transcending space. Everything comes back to the tree.
So it's kind of like Kratos lives in a really, really, really big treehouse.
In his quest to free the Norse world, Kratos reclaimed old weapons by reckoning with his past sins, even taking up the Blade of Olympus once again.
Even better, he actually got to be a decent dad. And now the boy is a man and also a bear.
Kratos made a lifetime of mistakes, but this future would be different. He'd be more than he was in the past, not just a god of war, but a leader, a father, and a defender, a god of hope.
Hell yeah.
Long ago, a demigod fell from the heavens, only to rise from the depths of Naraka after 12,000 years.
After 12,000 years, he's free to punch everything dumb enough to get in his way. He was the demigod of wrath, Asura.
Alongside 7 other demigod generals, Asura served as defender of humanity against the impure Goma, dark spirit monsters infesting the world.
And the demigods battled the Goma by wielding a mystic energy.
Put him in Marvel
formed
vs.
from human
Capcom.
Rare, Mantra.
By advancing technology with Mantra, the Guardian Generals became essentially hyper-powerful mystic cyborgs. They could each harness Mantra through a different emotional affinity. For August, it was greed. For Yasha, it was melancholy.
I'll give you one chance to guess what Asura's is.
Tapping into his wrath, Asura can take many forms for battle, like the 6-armed Vajra, a state powerful enough to subdue the embodiment of the planet's will and the source of the Goma, Vlitra.
But he wasn't angry enough to put Goma Vlitra down for good. At least not yet. Of course, since he's literally powered by wrath, no enemy of Asura's would be stupid enough to do something that would make him even more mad, right? Right?
Funny you should say that.
God damn it.
First off, Asura is not some one-dimensional anger machine. In myth, the Asuras were powerful and aggressive beings, sure, but not inherently evil, just like Asura himself. He's a warrior, but also a husband with a daughter, Mithra,
And Mithra has the unique power to supercharge Mantra energy.
which gave Asura's prideful commander, Deus, an idea. If he could weaponize Mithra, literally wiring her up to a super weapon, the Guardian Generals could maybe finally end Goma Vlitra for good.
Well, obviously Asura wasn't gonna go along with that. So Deus framed Asura for killing the Emperor, murdered his wife, kidnapped Mithra, and then just straight up killed him. What a dick.
But true to his nature,
Yes,
Asura
exactly.
was literally too angry to die. So long as a single part of his body remains and can possess mantra, he can climb back out of Naraka, a sort of limbo underworld between life and death. Thanks to some coaxing from a strange golden spider, he did just that, with an all-new purpose in mind.
Make the gods pay! Oh yeah, they're calling themselves gods now. Turns out they're all assholes who started sacrificing thousands of innocent people to try to power up. So Asura got really pissed off.
And through his rage, Asura's power exploded, rising enough to throw giants like ragdolls, shatter whole moons, and destroy a fellow deity, Wyzen.
Who could dwarf the planet and wreck it with just a finger. Look at this!
Asura is so powerful, his soul cannot be manipulated by the Goma or the deities. He can propel himself with mantra to fly, harden his fists to break steel, fire explosive energy blasts,
and headbutt you so hard you wish you could die even faster. The dude literally stockpiles anger into a burst of energy that can one-shot even the toughest of foes. And when he goes unlimited mode, he can rapid fire those super attacks without overheating.
Asura's vengeance quest wasn't all shouting and explosions, though. I mean, it was a lot of that, but he also tried to protect people from the gods, including a girl who very much reminded him of his own daughter.
Yeah, Asura's the kind of guy who wants to be a great dad, but all he knows how to do is punch anything that upsets his kid, like that one dad that knocks out a ref at a Little League game.
And then the gods killed that girl too, along with her whole village, sparking Asura to unleash his berserker aura.
You know how the gods were sacrificing thousands of people to power up? Well, Asura got so freaking angry, he built up enough mantra to match them, even though they've been building up energy for thousands of years. Seriously, guys, you're pissing off the guy who literally gets more powerful the angrier he gets. What did you think was gonna happen?
Yet even in berserker mode,
Thousands of people, wasn't it?
Asura
Billions
never
of people?
lost total control.
Berserker
I think it was
Asura
more
has
than
even
1,000, yeah.
more extra arms, and they're
thought so.
big and glowy now. The man can launch so much angry mantra, he wiped out the god's whole space fleet in seconds.
Asura's anger raised to levels so high even he couldn't contain it, scorching him into his wrath form.
Even though it hurts Asura while he's in it, this form is still perfect for absolutely shit-stomping a snappy demigod's face in. It's okay though, his brother-in-law punched the edge out of him.
Yasha saw the error of the deity's senseless sacrifices and teamed up with Asura for a coup against Deus.
Awesome, they're bros again. Just in time for Asura to hit his former boss with so much mantra that he burst, then dive into the planet's core to obtain power equal to 1,000 arms. His mantra form, finally, a power capable of killing Vlitra in a big planet-busting blast.
Deus was defeated and Gaia was saved. Yet, Asura's wrath hadn't been quelled.
Title drop.
It turns out that spider that guided him was actually Chakravartin, the creator of mantra and the entire universe.
And everyone's suffering was part of his plan to make Asura his heir. Chakra kidnapped Mithra, because of course he did, and tested Asura in the form of a massive golden Buddha statue. Check out the size of it. That thing can literally hold a galaxy in its palm. Naturally, Asura and the statue threw hands.
Enter the mantra reactor. Capable of holding 7 trillion souls, Asura instead used it as a vessel for a far greater power.
His own unfiltered rage. At last, Asura could show the world his real colors.
Everyone from the humans to the 7 deities to Chakravartin saw Asura's anger as a weapon, a sword for tyranny, when that was never who he was. His rage was really a shield to protect humanity, and most of all, his daughter.
A shield larger than a planet. Unbound by his past limits, Asura's ultimate destructor form effortlessly punched through asteroids larger than nebulas, dodged planet-sized lasers moving 2 quadrillion times faster than light, and obliterated whole stars.
Chakravartin was understandably impressed and offered Asura a chance to take his place.
Laughed in
Asura
his face.
smiled at the offer and extended his arm.
Right in Chakra's face, as if he was gonna let some god trample over more worlds. Instead, he literally beat the QTEs out of God, obliterating him and his plans in a cosmic explosion.
But with Chakravartin dead, so was the concept of mantra itself. those who depended on it could not survive, including Asura.
Hey, as long as Mithra was fine, it was worth it. Besides, he'll reincarnate millions of years later, still kicking ass, ready to smack a random thug, a meteor, or Ryu, right in the balls.
Despite the dangers of uncontrolled anger, Asura's wrath gave him the power to save everything, all because of just one thing.
Some bastard made his daughter cry, so they had to pay. Now that's a god I can get behind.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay. Kratos for $5.
Kratos for $5.
Starting off with the hive mind.
Yep. All right, so why did you choose Kratos?
Loyalty. I mean, you know, I thought I'd start off the year right and pick it out of loyalty. We played both games, but we have more affinity for Kratos and God of War. I mean, because it's just, you know, more of a journey, more games to watch and to play through. I also feel like he has conquered his wrath more so than Asura has. Like Asura gets into like the rage demon or whatever and can't really control it, whereas Kratos can now, has better control over his rage. Now, if you're going over the different feats that they've had, and you're saying like, okay, well, Asura beat the creator of the entire universe, so doesn't that make him more powerful? And that's why I think that's the only reason I bet $5. I'm like, well, they could say that Asura is gonna win because of that, but I still think Kratos has more of an arsenal at his disposal.
I chose Kratos primarily for loyalty. I thought about choosing Asura because I wanted Kratos to win, and I was like, well, if I do that, then I win either way, right? And they did talk up Asura. Like,
yeah, they did.
It's in outer space. I mean, come on, like it's very big and epic with him in a way that makes me feel like it might be a smokescreen. So I'm hanging my hat on Kratos being a god killer.
Okay.
Asura is only a demigod.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like that should be in Kratos' wheelhouse. And the fact that exactly what you said, Kratos has conquered his anger. And I thought it was very interesting how they called him the god of hope at the end, how the god of war became the god of hope. And I was like, well, to me, hope feels like a natural antidote for anger. If I am hopeful for something, I can't also, in that same exact moment, be angry. Like I can be angry about the thing and then hopeful to change it, but in the moment of hope, it's like I can't be angry. It's like you can't be angry when you're feeling gratitude for something. Like they kind of are diametrically opposed in a way that you can't contain them both in the exact same instant. So for me, I was like, I feel like there's a clue in that, and I feel like Kratos is going to have the upper hand. At the end of the day, I just want them to be friends, and they can go off and kill a bunch of selfish gods, and the world will be a better place for it. But
that'd be nice.
You know.
It's a death battle, so they can't be friends.
Exactly.
All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
What was that from?
I don't know, it was fantastic.
Yep.
Dead battle!
It's like the environment.
Yeah, good animation.
There he is.
Ooh, what a shot. The music change.
It's true then. The god of war is on Gaia, but not for long. You do not want this fight.
You didn't threaten your daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't do anything to Mithra.
a long time for his axe to get back to him. Still isn't back. There you go. Yeah.
Ooh. Come on, Kratos.
Instant transmission.
You let your wrath consume you. I have been down that road before. Shut up! Very well.
Light him up.
Ah, spear.
That's my least favorite of the 3 weapon set. This guy gets sword. Yeah. It didn't explode. Now he's just gonna climb back up.
With no arms. He's gonna do it with his teeth.
Yep. He did make her cry, though.
You made her cry
Well,
by starting this fight and then falling into the crater.
The music changed.
Come on, Kratos.
This is not my end!
Damn. Kratos is just gonna headbutt it.
Come on, Kratos.
Is he gonna be what Asura was and hold up the big fist? Bring it! Come at me, bro! Yeah. Ah, turning the table. You are wise.
Death has not heard me yet!
Death can claim me. She earns it.
But you deserve a worthy end!
There you go. There's a sword.
He did it.
We don't know yet. It's always like the false ending. I like the way they play with the music.
You are a monster no longer. I never was.
Aww.
But wait, Asura has resurrection abilities. No, that would be a great ending. So I kind of want him to resurrect. Okay.
All right.
Oh, well,
Good ending.
I guess Asura's wrath really is gone. But are we sure this is how it'd go? Even though Asura can blow up stars?
Asura had some amazing displays of apocalyptic destruction, but the full scope of their speed, experience, versatility, and power sheds a surprising light.
At first glance, speed seems like a shoe-in for Asura. Kratos is quick, but he never dodged a universe-crossing laser.
That doesn't
True.
mean he couldn't. Remember, as usual, we look at these characters at their peak, free from gameplay restrictions.
Yeah, we're looking at everything in canon, and Kratos fought and killed Helios, the sun god.
From the moment he's introduced, Helios is emphasized to be immensely powerful. Without Helios, darkness would shroud everything. His light was fast enough to illuminate the entire underworld while Kratos sailed through it, taking a few hours at most.
So, kinda hard to quantify, but that's consistent with the shockwaves the primordials caused that spawned the universe.
Arguments could be made for which is faster, the primordial shockwaves or Chakravartin's intergalactic lasers. Since it's so close, it's safest to assume their speeds are generally even.
But what does speed matter if you don't know how to use it? Let's cover experience. Asura lived
Kratos
across
definitely has-
centuries,
I wanna know.
obviously a lot longer than Kratos.
And while Kratos eventually learned to control his rage, Asura pretty much always had that control.
So Asura easily takes experience. But when
I
it
expect
comes
that.
to
But I guess, yeah, he was
versatility,
12,000 years
He couldn't
old.
match all the weapons and abilities Kratos had.
Sure,
there was only
Asura's
one game.
quite skilled and a monster at martial arts, but his fighting style mostly relies on one thing.
A whole lot of punching.
Kratos' weapons, magic, runes, relics, and even his rage gave him far more options in combat, slowing down time, healing injuries, and most importantly, multiple weapons that could drain a variety of energies, like mantra.
Yeah, when Asura loses all his mantra energy, that's it for him. So the Dropnir spears and the Blade of Olympus gave Kratos exactly what he needed. Versatility, and multiple ways to finish this for good before Asura just comes crawling back out of the underworld.
Ah, it
If he
seems like
could,
that's all you need right there.
resurrections take years or whole centuries, days at best.
But all this assumes Kratos could match Asura's crazy strength. All roads lead to power, which should go to Asura, right? Look at what he can do. If this came down to who made the bigger kaboom, he'd kick Kratos' ass in 2 seconds.
But a closer examination of their feats reveals the truth.
At his peak, Asura overpowered Chakravartin, annihilating that cosmic golden god.
By measuring the dimensions of Chakravartin's body and scaling it up to match the size of this galaxy-eclipsing statue, we can determine its volume. Add in the density of gold, for good measure assuming the form is solid throughout, and its mass far exceeds not just our galaxy, but our entire observable universe.
Damn.
Destroying that big golden god would need energy on par with obliterating our universe 91,000 times.
Extremely impressive and
Over 91,000.
However, the same idea applies to Ragnarok shaking the roots of Yggdrasil.
Ragnarok is obviously a bit of a different beast than Kratos, but what really matters is what Freyr did.
Right, Freyr, a god comparable to Kratos, held back Ragnarok's power for a significant time.
So Kratos should be capable of the same level of power, or even more.
Using an official map and knowing the world tree's branches encompass all of existence, we can measure its size and volume.
And we know this map is accurate because it shows these two realms conjoined, which we see in game.
Even if we assume the Tree of the Realms is only 1% solid, a significant lowball that Kratos should easily scale above, shaking such an incomprehensibly large structure would require enough force to destroy our universe's mass energy 9 million times over.
That's almost 100
Oh
times
my
greater than
God.
Chakravartin's destruction. And this
Damn.
isn't some one-off outlier. I mean, a realm-shattering supergiant doesn't sound too different from the other Titans and Olympians Kratos defeated.
True.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's easy to think that we never see Kratos do anything that matches Asura, but we do. Helios' speed matches Chakravartin, and Kratos outsped him. Atlas is strong enough to lift all of reality, and Kratos overpowered him. Kronos defeated the creator of the universe in a one-on-one fight, same as Asura, and Kratos killed Kronos. Add in the clear numerical comparison of Chakravartin, Ragnarok, and Yggdrasil, and Kratos takes the edge in power.
But hey, Capcom, if you give us Asura's Wrath too, we'll try this again.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Asuras, the sun rises. The god of wrath was Kratos.
The winner is Kratos.
Nice.
But what if?
Ooh, alternate ending. Okay.
We get a what if? He resurrected. That's what I said.
punch his head off. Oh, nice. Keep tapping, keep tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Have to meet your eyes.
Let me see him.
Still would have been like a nice
Concludes
ending.
my pitch for Asura's Wrath 2. The end.
Yeah.
Next time on Death Battle.
Ghost Rider, Spawn. Oh, sweet.
Oh,
Subscribe and
fun.
join as a member to see more Death Battle.
Nice.
Thanks for watching.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, agreed. I really like the ending for this one. I actually like both endings that they had planned out. They both were like, I don't know, were cinematic and like not how you would think that this would end. You think it would end, I don't know. It's like bloody ending for this one, but they didn't. They were like kind of like sweet a little bit.
I love the ending with like, now you are a monster no more and I never was. Like those lines were just so
I never was,
fantastic. And you know, I'm glad that Kratos won because I'm gonna be honest here. Asura came to his neck of the woods. Kratos didn't ask for this fight. And so he was called, he answered the call, he shows up, and Asura goes all crazy because he's in the same room as Mithra. Like, dude, can you imagine ever trying to date Mithra? Her dad is crazy.
It's true.
Like, Kratos was in the same room. He hadn't even spoken to her yet. And Asura's all like, I'm gonna kill you!
Oh yeah. You made my daughter cry. Oh my god, no!
Yeah.
We
So
were just watching a movie.
I gotta be honest, like, I understand why Kratos thought Asura was a monster. I agree that Asura's not, but in this moment, I can understand why he had that perception. I didn't get the, hey, they get to be friends at the end of this that I would have wanted, but like that is the next best thing. That sort of like, I think that moment of realization of misunderstanding.
Yeah.
And like kind of coming to terms with that.
Yeah, like the fight overall as well. The opening shot or whatever, like where Kratos was in his house and like then Asura's like standing in the doorway, like over his shoulder. I thought was really well done. So the animation for that was pretty cool. All right, so we both put Kratos and we both were right, and so now we each got $255. We start the year with $250, and then it's. I mean, we don't actually have this money. It's not real money.
It's Monopoly
just,
money.
Yeah, it's Monopoly money. But that's like the number we start off with. So then at the end, we can see like it works with the strategy of the bet. That's all I'm gonna say. Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And if you want to check out our Asura's Wrath or God of War playthrough, then we got playlists for that. And thanks so much for seeing our reaction. But just keep in mind
That our reaction is definitely not definitive.